What's up, boopers? Welcome to the Black Desert Online Guide to Tamers, or Beastmasters, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just gonna go with something like Beast Tamer. Let's get started. Boop. Beastmasters in Black Desert Online will be using Sojiomes, aka katanas, in their main hand and charms in their offhand. It's worth pointing out that this main hand is the same that ninjas and kunoichis use, so if you plan to play them and they're not released yet, you can play this class and upgrade her weapon and then swap it over to the ninja when it comes out. They'll be using mana and stamina as their primary resources, just like most classes. To understand Tamer, we'll have to start this guide by going over her Summon Beast spell. At level 20, you'll gain the ability to summon a big black doggy that will follow you around and attack things near you. Mine is nicknamed Epilepsy. With the skill, you will be given 4 command skills: Attack, Wait, Follow, and Sit. Ranking up this skill will increase the power of your beast and its duration. While he initially lasts 3 minutes, later he'll last 10, but with a 2-minute cooldown, he'll always have 100% uptime regardless of the rank. You'll also be able to skill Sacrifice. This ability will consume the beast in order to grant you powerful buffs for 60 seconds. The low rank is just plus damage and defense, but the higher rank Sacrifice grants you movement speed, attack speed, and a huge 60% crit buff. However, you will lose your doggy. Additionally, once you are level 49, you can skill it to be able to mount the beast by giving him the wait command and pressing R. Now this black beast will interact with several of your abilities in different ways. For some abilities, he will combo with you and add damage or effects to your skills. For other abilities, you will be able to use them while you are mounted on the beast to perform attacks with him. So with that in mind, let's start learning about the other Tamer skills. Your basic attack is called Leaf Slash, hotkeyed to left mouse, and ranking this up will increase its damage and attack speed and accuracy. This is the same basic attacks that your beast will use when you mount him and left click, but it is mainly a filler skill when you are out of mana. You'll also have a standard evasive roll, and ranking it up reduces the stamina cost of the roll. You'll get a skill called Capture, which is hotkeyed to E. It allows you to grab an enemy and toss them back into others, knocking them down. This skill gets its own combo skills later that allow you to add swings to the grab, and I believe it's usable in PvP. F starts as a kick skill, something the Tamer has a few of, so let's go over all of the kick skills together. We've got Continuous Kick, Late Kick, and Climbing Tree. Continuous is what you'll start with and will make your opponents turn around after you hit them. At higher ranks, it will knock them back as well. Climbing Tree is hotkeyed to W and F and is a jump kick that will have you leap away after you hit them. And lastly, Late is an up kick hotkeyed to S and F and kicks them on their backs, higher rank knocking them back as well. These kicks have numerous combo skills that can be unlocked as well that will allow you to combine them to add in additional knockdowns and knockback effects. Evasive Attack is a strafe skill hotkeyed to A or D and then left click, higher ranks increasing its crit chance and range, and adding an additional skill component to it will make it strike twice, a good skill for moving around opponents while still attacking. Next, let's go over the Flash combo. Holding S and left click will cause you to strike wide and lunge forward. Higher ranks increasing the damage and lunge of the Flash. Following Flash with another left click will cast Bond Sting, adding another attack to it. And if you put points into Claw, this will cause Bond Sting to put a bleed effect on the target. After that, if you hold S, or hold S throughout the entire combo, you will cast Turn Sting, and this will hit once more and spin your opponents around, allowing you to easily back attack. And as the last combo skills, let's go over Byokuruk and Bonkyuk. I'm just going to call them Punch 1 and Punch 2. So Punch 1 is the initial castable used by holding Shift and left click, punching your enemy and stunning it for 3 seconds. The second attack, Punch 2, once skilled, is cast holding the same buttons and will cause a knockdown. Now, Cast 2 not only has a high damage ratio and high crit rate at max rank, both of these can be ranked to be used extremely fast, and are 2 of your core skills as a Tamer for single targets and PvP. One last thing before we go into cool magic stuff, Tamer can also skill a double jump. I didn't do it, but she can, just saying. So bound to your right mouse key will be the Black Beast Whips. Say that 5 times fast. Now this skill is deceptively bad at low ranks, so bad that you might make the mistake of writing it off for your other spells, but at max rank it hits a lot for a lot in a large area, all three of those things increasing with ranks, and you'll want to rank it up as it'll be a key part of your rotation later in the game. While mounted on your beast, he uses this skill in the exact same way, by right clicking. Next, Space Thunderbolt. I'm assuming badly translated, though it does sound cool. Who doesn't love Space Thunder? It's hotkey to Q, and you will suck all enemies inward and flinch them, then slow them, while doing damage. Higher ranks will increase its holdable duration and damage, but holding it drains endurance. The skill by itself does not do a huge amount of damage, but when your Black Beast is out, he will combo with it and strike at all the enemies very fast at the same time. Because it's flinching the enemies, they also won't be hitting you while you cast it. Additionally, while riding the Black Beast, this skill can be cast using Q as well to deal damage. It can be cast on cooldown to deal reduced damage, and this skill is great for leveling as you don't unlock your other strong AoE spells until late in the game. It does have a secondary component that allows you to release a bolt while jumping if you like being flashy, but I didn't take this. Next, Breather Slash, hotkey to shift and right click, is a wide frontal swing whose main use is to knock back opponents. Higher ranks increase its range and damage. Then we've got Shred, another great skill for doing damage in the early levels. It can be comboed out of your basic attacks by hitting spacebar to leap forward and deal damage. It can also be comboed out of the Punch 1 Punch 2 combo. While riding the beast, this skill is usable to make him pounce forward simply by pressing your spacebar. For another knockback, we've got Land of Thunder, simply cast by pressing W and right click, slashing black energy forward at enemies and pushing them back. This skill is usable in the same way on your beast's back. At higher ranks, will make it even knocked down. Then we've got Surf, which I like to call Stomp of the Yard. While leveling, this is good skill to combo with Space Thunderbolt. By holding shift and F, you will send black energy up from the ground, doing minor knockback and some damage. It's kinda meh by itself, but if your beast is out, he'll jump to you and shoot several shots in the same location, dealing additional damage. Using it while riding your beast can be done by holding shift and running forward, causing him to dash to the nearest enemy and bite him. Who's a good little epilepsy? Yes, you are. You're a good boy. Next up is Beating Fear. This is an AoE stun at low ranks, hotkey to shift and Q to stun for 2 seconds in PvP. Holding this at higher ranks, however, will cause it to pulse outward repeatedly and stun multiple times, and knock them back. And while it doesn't work on bosses, is highly effective in PvP. Next, learned from the Black Spirit quest, Claw Uppercut is cast by holding S and right click, charging forward to knock up and back enemies at higher rank. Using it with 100% Black Spirit energy will consume the energy to do massive damage, and this skill can also be used while riding on your Black Beast using the same hotkey. Beast Swipes, the second last skill, is a simple strafe skill like your Evasive Swing, only using right click and mana instead of left click and stamina. You can mimic this ability while riding on your beast as well. The attack slightly pushes enemies to move with the swing, so whichever direction you're dashing with the attack. And lastly, your big spell on a tamer is called Lion's Roar. This ability is hotkey to your bar and will suck in all enemies for massive damage, then at the end of the cast, knock them away and knock them down, and apply a 30% slow on them at max rank. It is usable while riding your Black Beast by pressing shift and spacebar and is extremely good for AoE farming at low levels. It can be spammed to ignore the cooldown but will have reduced effect. Now there's no passives for our beast lady, so that's it for skills. Let's go straight into gameplay. Leveling up, you'll rely heavily on just spamming Lion's Roar until your other skills scale up to meet their potential, such as Bongyak or Punch Punch and Beast Whip. Luckily, Lion's Roar is extremely satisfying to cast and clears camps easily. Towards the end game, farming higher level monsters is done with the range increase on Beast Whips and its higher damage ratio. It makes for easy soloing of bosses once you master a Tamer's mobility. She does not have many mobility skills like most melee, so you'll have to rely heavily on dodge roll and her forward lunge. You can lunge her forward by hitting shift to sprint with W and then left clicking to auto attack. She's got several great CCs and knockbacks for PvP, but she has quite a high skill cap in terms of mastering her mobility. One method of farming on Tamer is to ignore your weight limit by riding around on your beast and killing things by spamming Lion's Roar and letting your mini pets loot stuff for you. Farming like this prevents you from having to go back to town if you collect too much goodies, and lets you keep going. Mainly for farming in the late game though, and against bosses you'll be just using Beast Whip and Punch 1, Punch 2, with forward slash to dodge enemy attacks and dodge roll. The most annoying thing about playing Tamer is her lack of ranged attack. So I'll say it for the 50th time, master the use of her mobility skills and you are golden. For gearing, you'll want Uria or Laverto, and for armor, I'd go for Niels. Or obviously more expensive boss stuff if you can afford it. Make sure you have attack speed and crit on her if you can get it, and enough accuracy that your attacks aren't missing. For awakenings, you definitely want MP absorption on Beast Whips to let you cast it for days, as a Tamer does have MP problems, but they are not so noticeable as on a wizard because she has plenty of stamina based attacks as well. And that's it for Tamer. I'm working on Blader next, and then Sork. I could take a bit, as Blader and Plum do have almost all the same skills, but not quite, so I've got to learn 2 for 1. I'll also try and stream the launch of Black Desert Alpha, where I'll answer any questions as I look through the changes and practice power leveling for launch. But until then, I am booping out. Boop.